what I didn't realize as well,
Uh-huh.
because it ended up being such a monster album that when it came out, when Bobby's album came out, it debuted at number 74. It really didn't do nothing.
Didn't do nothing.
In the beginning.
It started climbing and
it started, but then 6 months later,
yeah.
it was number 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, all 5 singles
Yep.
reached top 10. Don't Be
Yeah.
Cruel was a monster. My Prerogative went
Yeah.
number 1. It was the second biggest single of 1989.
Yeah.
It won a Grammy. It went 12 times platinum.
Yeah.
I mean, so really that album,
Yeah.
you know, the Don't Be Cruel album became the biggest album out of the New Edition family.
Absolutely.
Period.
Yeah.
Like 3
Yeah.
times what like BBD ended up doing.
Sure did. Yeah.
So like by the time you guys were, because you guys went on tour together and Bobby Brown opened up for New Edition as well as I'll Be Sure.
I'll Be Sure, Bobby, and the new Edition.
Exactly. So by the time the tour was underway, Bobby started becoming almost the bigger entity, right?
Well, not for us, but they, God bless Albie. Albie said at one point, he called us in for a meeting, and we had a meeting with him, and he said, hey, listen, I got to go back to the lab and get some more music.
Right, because he had to go on after Bobby.
Yeah, he went on before Bob, after Bobby. Yeah,
exactly.
I think Bob went on first, and then that ended up.
Yeah, you do My
switching.
Prerogative, and then you go to I'll Be Sure. People are kind of like, okay.
Switching. And then it got real. I think it started getting a little tough for Al. I think later on in the tour because, you know, like he said, he's felt that maybe part of the thing for him was he needs to go back in and start working on a new album because, you know, he started feeling. I mean, it was like that's what that time we were talking about the light skinned guys and all that stuff being in. It was like, man, at one point,
I'll be sure it wasn't working out that way.
Al didn't have to do nothing. He could just stand there and they was just screaming. He was like, he just, you know, then after a while.
Bobby came out with those hits though.
Yeah.
Took his shirt off.
And it was like,
forget.
Bob started coming in there. He was like representing for the dark skin. I was like, all right, we here.
Okay, was it around this time that Don King and Al Sharpton wanted to manage y'all?
I guess at one point, when you were looking for new managers,
right?
Don King and Al Sharpton were supposed to be your managers?
Yeah, they came and we interviewed them. And it was just,
How did that go?
I'm so mad they didn't put that scene in. It was weird. It was just really weird. Don King was like, you guys are gonna be the greatest. And he was saying stuff like, just tell the world how great Don King is. And I'm like, we're like, what? Like, just tell everyone how great Don King is.
You're the manager.
Like, talk about me and you guys will be huge. It was just weird.
At one point, it was Don King, Al Sharpton, and that was something that I wasn't privy to at the time, but I had heard about, you know, them wanting to get in business with us, or either the fact that, because Michael was always, to me, the visionary.
Yeah.
He always had these creative ideas, not just creatively from, you know, just from an artistic standpoint, but even on the business side of stuff. And, you know, Mike was always one of those guys looking to try to figure out, and he was the one that discovered right off the bat, later, why there was the jump and shoot and all that other stuff that took place that was sitting on the album that's made him start looking more into, hey, yo, hold on one second here. So we're not signed to, you know, he was one of those guys that was always, he always had that kind of drive. And he understood. Michael will tell you to this day, he really understood too that he was like, listen, I wasn't the most talented one out of them. I wasn't the best singer or the best rapper. I was trying to find my niche and where I fit in and what I could bring and my value to the table as a member, as this group. And God knows that was what I think still to this day what has cost us to continue to carry this journey on to be where we are 40 years later.
Well, yeah, because a few years later, he came out with Boyz II Men, which is the same title as the song that you sang.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think they named themselves after that song, right?
After that song.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they became a mega group.
Even though they don't talk about it to this day anymore, they were big fans of ours and of myself.
Yeah.
And I mean, clearly, it's self-explanatory. The name is Boyz II Men. But
Exactly.
it's so funny. But they're family. They're part of our family, and I'm proud of them still to this day. And we have such a great relationship that what they've been able to accomplish, because it's one thing to lead somebody to a place and giving them an opportunity, but it's a whole nother thing what you choose to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did with the opportunity, can't be denied.
Well, the next year you actually got nominated for a Grammy for If It Isn't Love.
Yeah.
How did that feel? I mean, you didn't win, unfortunately. Who did you guys lose to that year?
I don't know, but I still feel like Little Richard. They ain't never gave me nothing. Don't trip. Shut up. Tie your shoes. I saw him one time, and he was the funniest guy I think I've met.
Oh, yeah. Rest in
Oh,
peace,
my God,
Little Richard, man.
A character, man. I love funny people. I love to laugh. I don't care who it is. My best friend, my brother, Eddie, one of the greatest that's ever done it. It's like being around funny people. It's the best medicine on the planet, because they find humor and make you look at life and see things that you would never, ever think about. And sometimes you go, oh, shit, I'm laughing at some shit. This is really not funny. But it's not because it's about being malicious. It's just when you can find humor in life, and sometimes we have these days where you feel like more so crying than laughing. It's like, it is the best medicine on the planet. And for years, that's all I love being around funny people. I love being around people who, can find humor in life and things.